Hello, not Manly here. Welcome back to another episode of Rescue the Engineer, that is, Kerbal Space Program. The Green Party has asked us to go fetch this fellow and bring up a tourist at the same time, so we got our double rescue craft up there with our slightly cramped command pods. Yes, we've got more engineers than we know what to do. Well, trust me, I'm an engineer. I think we'll put this thing right here. Trust me, I'm an engineer. Oh, heck, I think I'm out of here. Let's get this engineer back home safe. We got so many now, I think we need to expand the astronaut complex. But after we bring these fellows back home safe, let's go back up, make sure that Doug Kerman, our most experienced engineer now, gets back home safe. And he's been playing scientist for us for most of this trip. In addition to getting all of the seismic and gravimetric science above Gilly, he's been trying his best to get per biome gravimetric science high above Eve. On the way up, he got a few readings, and on the way back down, he's coming and getting a few readings. At the same time, he too has been taking questions from the Purple Broadcasting Corporation, trying to compare his experience with his brother Bob's. Bob's having none of it though. He's really proud of his brother. Look at that. One day the two of them will go get to space together. We gotta get ourselves a two-person command pod before we can do that though. But in the meantime, I'm going to need help from you once again, with Doug here bringing back a bounty of science. I just don't know what to do with the science that we're going to be bringing home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it out to the viewers and out to the forum members of the Kerbal Space Program forums. Folks, what should I do with this science? Remember, this is Eve. Remember that this is Ohio Bob's Realistic Atmospheres. Remember, this is mostly a stock game, except for explodium-breathing jet engines. So, with that information, what do you fellows think I should do with all the science that I've picked up on this particular trip? In addition to getting high space science, now that we're below 400 kilometers, we'll get some low space science that we missed. Low space per biome gravimetric science. Look at that. Doug here is being a better scientist than his brother. No, that's not right. Bob's a great scientist. Doug here is just filling his shoes and getting flight experience, as we know. But hey, let's just wait for him to pass over biomes here. We'll take a quick break and reflect on what we've accomplished so far. So far, we have exhausted at least 5 different biomes on Eve for most of our science. We have totally exhausted Gilly with this particular trip. We are still down to 1.25 meter parts though. Trying to launch larger parts up into low Eve orbit is proving a lot more problematic than I expected. I've got some prototype launch vehicles in a sandbox save, but I've got no idea how to get them up to space safe reliably. Sometimes I can do it, sometimes I can't. Let me know what you fellows think. But in the meantime, we're going to bring Doug back home safe. We might get some opportunities for science on the way down, but at this point, I wouldn't want to take any chances, and neither is this Doug. So here we go, with his proper parachutes this time, and not just drogue chutes. Doug is doing his first of what's going to be 2 re-entry passes. Once again, there's the service module out in the distance, and we'll get to watch a lovely fireworks show here. Look at that. Heat shields are going to be a must for anything returning from higher than Gilly orbit. Look at that. How are we going to get out to places like Duna and Moho and maybe all the way out to Jewel someday? That is going to be tough unless we can get larger pieces up into low Eve orbit. Amazing. As much as we've accomplished here with the 1.25 meter parts though, we definitely need to think about getting larger bits up here and thinking about the next step in constructing our single stage to orbit craft for Eve. Look at that. Old habits die hard. Doug Kerman getting out there grabbing some low space gravimetric science for us. Beauty. Great job, Doug. You've earned yourself a lot more than just a cold one when you come back down to the surface. Look at that. And you're still at it. Oh, look at that. Better come home soon, Doug. You know, you're doing great for us, but I would rather you get back home safe. We can always come back and get more science, I think. Really focused here. Purple Broadcasting Corporation is really concerned about Doug here. Hopefully he's not going to risk his safety for the sake of a few more bits of science. But yeah, as I was saying, we've only got 1.25 meter parts here still. We've got some wing parts, but we can't get to single stage to orbit yet. At least I don't believe so. Maybe with some imagination, some of you viewers out there might have a better idea of what I can do with the technology we have at our disposal here. My goodness. Beautiful, eh? Look at that. There we go. Plenty of ablator left for this second re-entry pass. Doug should come home safe without any worry this time. Got the G-forces up there, but hey, Doug knows what he's doing. Wait for those parachutes to be safe. Look at that. And look, once again, an Eve sunset in green clouds. And our second successful return mission from Gilly. His brother Bob bringing back a big bounty of science, and Doug himself bringing back a even bigger bounty of science. We'll see in a moment when we get back to the Space Center. Unbelievable. Look at that. Drogue chutes. Main chutes will be firing in just a bit. We're over the Eve Highlands, and you know what? We haven't done any gravimetrics or seismic scans of the Highlands yet. Maybe we can get just a little more science. There we are. We're going to come home nice and safe. I'm not sure what else to say here. This has been a great series so far. We need to train up our engineers some more, though. Just getting out to Gilly and back might not be enough to be able to do the repairs that engineers need to be able to do. What do we gotta do? Take them just outside Eve's sphere of influence? Do we gotta take them all the way out to Bin? Maybe we gotta take them to Moho. We'll find out. Look at that. A lot easier time getting home than his brother did. At least he learned a thing or two from his own mistakes. There we go. Touchdown! Doug Kerman is safe back on the surface of Eve. Look at that, we have returned from the surface of Gilly. A thorough debriefing. And definitely a thorough celebration with a 2-4 waiting in the wings. And look at that. Old habits die hard. He's getting more seismic and more gravimetric science. Way to go, Doug. We got any more science we can grab out here while we're at it? Did we miss any EVA reports? Did we miss any surface? No, we were pretty thorough there. There we go. Alright, Doug, that's enough. Get back into that pod and let's bring you back to the Space Center safe. And look at that, 2200 science for a total of over 2700 science. Just what are we going to do with that science? What kind of technology do we need to bring up larger craft into orbit? What kind of technology do we need to finally make our single stage to orbit craft? Only level 2. We need level 3. We gotta figure that out somehow. In the meantime, our astronaut complex is getting pretty crowded. Well, let's give the administration building a boost. They've been helping us out with that fundraising campaign, and so we can get more contracts. Let's get mission control upgraded. There we go, not too much. And yeah, let's fix up the overcrowding at the astronaut complex. There we go. Now take a look at this tech tree. I've got 2,700 science to spend. I definitely have to get very heavy rocketry, but what do we do past here? Leave your suggestions in the comments or in the KSP forums. Until then, I'm not Manly. Fly safe.